really do appreciate it, and thank you for your time for watching this video. Now, as I shoot this video, it's just gone 9 o'clock on the 26th of Thursday, the 26th of August 2021. Now, many of my students have been rather worried about the impending cut of £20 a week to universal credit. As well as that, many people are worried about the forthcoming Christmas debt trap. The school kids are going back to school in the next 14 days, and I can see it causing a lot of problems for people. And I'm here to give you advice on my experience and how to avoid this. Now, first things first, I can hear you all saying, well, hang on, matey, you're a fitness trainer. What on earth are you doing talking about the cutting £20 of universal credit, Christmas debt trap, and other such things such as finances? Well, there are two reasons for this. Firstly, the number one cause of obesity and poor health is poverty. And if you look at the fact sheets that I'll give you, which I'll talk about later, you'll see that I proved to be right when I wrote my blog in 2008 about it. I was pasted, but in 2015, the Fabian Society released their report called Hungry for Change, and I proved to be correct. Secondly, the one of the commonest reasons for people to say to me in January when they make their weight loss resolutions to lose weight, that I can't do this because I can't afford it. I'm here to avoid this. Commonly what happens is in winter, people have the heat or eat scenario. They have they're between a rock and hard place, either heating their homes or eating, but very commonly they can't afford to do both. I'm here to show you how to avoid to do that with no change to your income. Okay, now you might be wondering what on earth is the Christmas debt trap, because I'm going to talk about that in quite some detail. The Christmas debt trap causes untold poverty and untold financial hardship for people throughout the year. What tends to happen is between the 30th of November or thereabouts and the 2nd of January, people spend an absolute fortune at Christmas. Now, what actually happens in such circumstances is they spend a lot of money on presents, clothes, food, all sorts of things for Christmas. And then come 2nd of January, they realise how much money they've spent. And in January, people haven't got any money, and many people are just literally praying for the end of January paycheck to come, and then basically they end up paying off Christmas for the rest of the year. It is an absolute nightmare scenario. And if worse comes to worse, January is a peak time of year for businesses to go bankrupt. So what actually happens is they could often find themselves out of a job, and basically they're in the financial dire straits. I'm here to help to do something about it without changing your income. Okay, first things first. There are four things I'm going to talk about to avoid the Christmas debt trap. 1, your energy bills. 2, Christmas food shopping. 3, Christmas present shopping. And 4, your taxes. First of all, let's talk about your energy bills. Let's assume for a moment that you have not got a prepayment meter for your gas or electric. Prepayment meters are a nightmare for people because you actually have to go to your local post office or whoever and get some credit put on your meters. And in many cases, you'll pay more for your gas or electric to actually use a prepayment meter. It's wholly wrong, but there's not much I can do about that. What I would suggest you do is contact your energy company and have a standard meter put in. It's commonly, unless of course you've got a bad credit rating, they'll agree to do that, and sometimes they might say, pay us £100 deposit and we'll put a standard meter in. That sometimes does happen. Now, I can tell you here and now that that £100 deposit will be nothing compared to the extra money you spend on gas and electricity if you're using a prepayment meter every year. So do try and get your meters changed over. But irrespective of who your supplier is, ring up your energy supplier today or as soon as you see this video and ask them if you can go on a budget plan. Now, what do I mean by a budget plan? It's where they estimate how much energy you're going to use over a year and split it in 12 equal payments. So in summer you pay a little bit more, in winter you pay a bit less. The advantage of this is you're not stuck with huge high winter fuel bills. Yes, you pay a bit more in summer, but hey, so what? And I do the same thing every year. And using what I'm going to teach you in another video, I cut my bills down from £161 a month to £100 a month with no change in energy, without changing tariff or supplier. I'll teach that in another video. So in the best case scenario, you're paying a fixed sum every month, and that helps avoid the high winter fuel bills. Please do that as a matter of priority. It goes a long way to prevent heat or eat scenario. Secondly, Christmas food shopping. At Christmas, people spend an absolute fortune on food for Christmas parties or the Christmas dinner and so on and so forth. What I would suggest you do, go to your local supermarket. Most supermarkets have a Christmas savings program. This is from Morrison's. This is from the Co-op. What tends to happen? It's very simple. Every time I go to Morrison's, I buy 4 days. Okay? And what actually happens is, come December, if you fill in a full card of 97 stamps, you get £3 of shopping for free. That might not sound like a lot, but it works out at 3% interest. Bank interest rates are 1%, so you're getting 3 times the value. On top of that, it means a huge, big chunk of your Christmas food shopping is prepaid. Every year I have about 2 of these saved up, 2 or 3 of these saved up. It knocks a huge dent in your Christmas food shopping. The other one is the Co-op. You buy £48 worth, and you get £2 worth of shopping for free. Now, what actually happens is we'll have about 5 of these saved up by Christmas time, so about £500 saved. On top of that, I would strongly recommend this scheme from the Co-op. It's their membership scheme. What actually happens with the membership scheme is you buy own brand, and 1% of what you spend on own brand goes on your card. Brilliant. So basically a whole nice bit of cash back develops. And that, if you do it properly, you can really prepay your Christmas food shopping bill, and that knocks a huge dent in the Christmas expenses. Number 3, the Christmas gift shopping. This is easy. Look online, you'll see loads and loads of Christmas shopping schemes. Okay, I use Park Hampers, that's my favourite. And what happens is I pay about 10 to 15 quid a week, and what actually happens is it accumulates, and come November I get a whole load of vouchers, and that more than pays off my Christmas gift shopping. It means I'm not stuck with a huge gift bill. Okay, everything is prepaid. It goes a long way to avoiding the debt trap. And number 4, spare a thought for the self-employed. What actually happens is in the UK, the financial year runs from the 6th of April to the 5th of April the following year. You then have until January the 31st to submit your tax return and pay your taxes. Now, most self-employed business owners are too disorganised, and so what happens is in January they're stressing about their tax return. You have to pay your accountant to do it if you use one, or bookkeeper, and you've got to pay your tax bill. To make matters that little bit worse, in January people spent all their money in Christmas, so for a lot of small businesses they have more staff in the shop than they do have at the end of the month. So imagine this, you've got no customers coming in, you've got to pay your staff at the end of the month, you have to pay your accountant, and you have to pay your tax bill. Doesn't make sense, does it? The best thing you do every year is come April, once the tax year's ended, give everything to your accountant, then ask them to sort out your tax return early and pay for your taxes. What actually happens is, come April, if you do that early, what actually happens, your accountant will work out how much tax you've got to pay, and therefore what you then go and do is you take to the revenue, can I have 8 months to pay, and they're normally quite happy to do that. If you do these 4 things, you can go a hell of a long way to avoid the Christmas debt trap. As I said, I'm a fitness trainer, and the 2 reasons I'm talking about this are twofold. One, it is very common for me to hear people say, well, I want to join your program in January, New Year's resolutions and all that, but guess what? They can't afford it. Number 2, the number 1 cause of obesity is poverty. And in 2008, I wrote a blog about this. I was absolutely pasted. But in 2015, the Fabian Society released their report called Hungry for Change. Guess what? I proved to be correct in everything. Now, what I'd like you to do, if you're looking at this video on Facebook, you'll see down below, you'll see a link to some fact sheets I've got on this. Feel free to download them, and I'm here to help. If you're on YouTube, look down below. You'll also see the link to the same fact sheets and links to other websites. Thank you very much for your time. I'm here to serve you, and please, please, please take action. Let this be the last Christmas you're affected by the Christmas debt trap. Let's make sure that Christmas 2022, from that year onwards, you're in profit, and we can put an end to this. Let's put an end to heat or eat, and let's put an end to Christmas poverty. Thank you very much for your time. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.